Are you wanting to know more about buying a home in Oklahoma? Well, this video could save you tons of heartache and money. And if you get nothing from this video, comment down below with a horrible, mean comment and give it 2 thumbs down. That way I know it's a really dumb video. All right, guys, check this out. Item number 14. Whoa, I got in the shadow. Item number 14, up there, way up there, see that? See it up there? There's no electric line from the pole over to the house. That little line that you might see right there, that's the cable line. But from right up there, right there, all the way to the house, there's no electric line. There's no electric line because it's buried under the ground, underground. So when you're looking at homes in Oklahoma, if you could get a home that already has the electric line buried underground, whenever we have our windstorms, whenever we have our thunderstorms, whenever we have our ice storms, guys, you are gonna be set above every other house in Oklahoma because you don't have to worry about a tree falling on your electric line or the ice being so heavy that it pulls the electric line either off of the pole over there or off of the house right over here. So when you're looking at houses, the newer houses, they'll all have the buried electric line. They'll all have the buried electric line. I promise you, it'll be buried on new homes. See how this pole comes up right here into the electric box? Before it was buried, it used to be up above the house, up there, like the neighbors do. You see the neighbor's line going across over there, neighbor's line going across over there, neighbor's line going across over there? Not with this house. And yes, at the time of this video, this home is available, a 5-bed on a huge lot, guys. Look at the size of this lot. Info on this house down in the comments below. Let's talk about the next item, which is item number 13. These aren't in any particular order, guys. These are all really important items. But item number 13, guys, is insurance companies, when they say you've got a policy, they didn't send anyone out to look at that house. They're literally just writing a blanket 30-day policy that is contingent upon them coming out after you buy the house and making sure the home is insurable. How much sense does that make? Really, how much sense does that make to get a blanket policy before you close on the house that just says, yeah, I'll take your business, and then come out 30 days after closing with an adjuster and say, oh, you know what, scratch that. We're not gonna insure your house. It happens, guys. It absolutely happens in Oklahoma. It's happened over the last 18 years, at least, I'm gonna say 6 times, at least 6 times. And one of the houses was one that I bought. A house that I bought, they sent an adjuster out like, no, we're not gonna insure that building. What jerks, but pay attention if you really are iffy on the insurance. And I was blown away, I was so angry. Why don't the insurance companies come out and give us a full, what is it called? Adjuster review before closing. Why don't they do that? You know how much heartache that would save? If the insurance companies would do that, then we wouldn't have to spend the extra money. We could ask the seller to fix it, and we as buyers wouldn't be stuck with that bill. But one of the things you absolutely want to know, absolutely want to pay attention to, is that when insurance companies give you an insurance policy, it's just a 30-day blanket policy. There's no guarantees to it. They still have to send an adjuster out, and that adjuster doesn't come out till after closing. Something you absolutely want to be aware of when you're buying a home in Oklahoma. Number 12 that you absolutely need to know when you're buying a home in Oklahoma, especially if you're buying a home with some land, pre-existing easements, pre-existing deed restrictions are not a reason to cancel the contract unless you write in clause 13 that they are. And when you're mentioning these things to my team and I, we're gonna be making notes. We're gonna be helping you write the perfect contract for you. And you have to one line, this is very important too, you have to one line, I believe it's clause 10 delta 2. You have to one line that whole clause, because that clause is the clause that specifically says any pre-existing easements, any pre-existing deed restrictions, any pre-existing zoning are not a reason to cancel the contract during your investigations, your inspections, and your reviews. So number 12, pay attention to pre-existing easements and pay attention to pre-existing deed restrictions, because they are not a reason that you can cancel your contract in Oklahoma. And in case you're new to the channel, my name's Josh Barnett. I've got a team of agents that help sellers, investors, and buyers just like you throughout the whole state of Oklahoma. So if you want to buy beautiful 5-bed properties like this one behind me that's all remodeled, then reach out to us. Our contact information is down in the description below. You're gonna fall in love with the prices, the community, you know, a community that has brand new $1 million playground, a splash pad, has a golf course, you're gonna fall in love with all the communities in Oklahoma and the affordability for a 5-bed home like this one. Almost 2,000 square feet, almost 2,000 square feet. Contact information down in the description below and information on this home. At the time of this video, it was available. If you're watching this video 30, 40 days after it's already shot, it's probably already under contract because people love Oklahoma and they love buying beautiful homes like this. Now let's get back to the video on things you need to look out for when you're buying homes in Oklahoma. Number 11, buyer beware, guys. You want to get your inspections done. You want to do the termite inspections. You want to do the home inspections. You want to get those inspections done. If you're a contractor, there are things that inspectors look at that you don't think about in your specific trade. If you're a general contractor, you handle everything, man, that's great. That is awesome. But for a small $400, $550 fee, you could have a third party inspect the home whose job is to find things wrong with it. That's what they do on a daily basis. Guys, number 11, get your home inspections done. I can't stress that enough. When you're buying a home in Oklahoma, you absolutely want to get the home inspections done and get the termite inspections done, because what if the roof's totaled? What if the roof's totaled and you get up there and you're not a roofer and you're like, oh, these shingles look good, but a roofer gets up there and says, hey, this roof's totaled. How much is a roof nowadays? $15,000, $20,000 on a small roof? I mean, come on, guys. $500 to save 20 grand, it's a no-brainer. Am I right? Am I right? Thumbs up if I'm right. Item number 10 that you absolutely want to think about when you're buying a home in Oklahoma is there in the rural areas, and if it's a home older than, say, 1970, there may not be DEQ documents on the septic system, and there may not be DEQ documents on the water well. And if there's not DEQ documents on the septic system or DEQ documents on the water well, that's something you need to be aware of, because that septic system literally may just be a 55-gallon barrel in the ground with a leach line that goes out to the creek. And that's why the inspections are so important too, because if there's no DEQ documents on the septic system, there's no DEQ documents on the well, then those were put in without DEQ inspecting them, without DEQ making sure they meet the standards that the Oklahoma Department of Environmental Quality hold contractors to when installing those systems. Does that make sense? Item number 10. You gotta know, you gotta understand, it's 50-50 when you're buying a rural property that there may not be DEQ documents. And that's when your home inspection is very, very, very important. All right, right quick. If you've ever thought about a career in real estate, or if you're a new agent or an existing agent, a team leader or a broker owner, team leader like I am now, or broker owner like I used to be in the past, guys, take 20 to 45 minutes. Book a video call with me or give me a call. My number's popping up on the screen right there. I want to chat with you about eXp Realty and how eXp Realty is obsessed with your success. If you're thinking about career in real estate, if you're a new agent, a seasoned agent, a team leader like I am now, or a broker owner like I used to be, guys, I want to make sure you have all the information available to you when it comes to eXp Realty and how it's obsessed with agent success. Item number 9, when you're buying a home in Oklahoma, is you want to check out the real estate taxes. We have some super affordable communities with super affordable real estate taxes, like the house that we're shooting in right now on this scene. Super affordable, amazing real estate taxes. I kid you not. This home, at the time of this video, the taxes on it are around $1,100, $1,050 to $1,100. Now, when you buy it, of course, the assessor is going to make a little bit of adjustment. But the flip side of that is we also have some communities where you need to pay attention to the real estate taxes, because we've had some customers purchase homes in Deer Creek schools. And in your Deer Creek schools, guys, the real estate taxes, they're literally just as expensive as when you've got a home in Las Vegas. That's right, in Las Vegas. So you definitely want to pay attention to real estate taxes when you're buying a home in Oklahoma, and that's real easy to look up on the county assessor's page. And when you're working with my team and I, we're going to point out to you right on the MLS exactly where it states the real estate taxes are. And if you're buying a home in an affordable community, the taxes will be more affordable. You know, that makes sense. And then when you're buying a home in communities like Deer Creek, just expect that you'll have, let's say, for example, on a $500,000 house in Deer Creek, you're probably gonna have $7,500 annual taxes, $7,500 annual taxes. And that's something you wanna be aware of when you're buying a home in Oklahoma. Number 8 thing you absolutely want to do when you're buying a home in Oklahoma is get the sewer line scoped. Get the sewer line scoped, even on new construction, because you never know what those contractors threw down the drain during the building phase. You have to get the sewer line scoped is item number 8, guys. The home inspector, he runs a camera down the sewer line. He makes sure that it's connected all the way to the main, or he makes sure that it's connected all the way to the septic tank. Well, and he makes sure there's a septic tank. We already talked about that. You want to make sure you have a septic tank when you're buying a home in rural Oklahoma, but scope that sewer line. Make sure there's no tree roots in it. Make sure that if it's in the city, it connects all the way to the main. The last customer that had a sewer line replaced because it wasn't connected to the main, it cost them $6,800, and they knew the plumber. They knew the plumber, and it cost them $6,800, guys. It's a very, very inexpensive add-on to the home inspection. It's like an extra $150 or $200, but it could save you $6,800 or the whole price of a brand new septic system, $7,500 potentially if you got to buy a new septic tank. Number 8, get that sewer line scoped during the inspection process. Man, I cannot get over how beautiful this house is. Is this house just not beautiful? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Share this house with anyone you know who's thinking about moving to Oklahoma. This is beautiful. Look at the finishing on that shower. Item number 7 that you need to pay attention to when you're moving to Oklahoma, or be aware of to know when you're moving to Oklahoma, is we've got these little bitty critters called gophers. Yeah, gophers. They go around and they dig tunnels in the ground, and they're so annoying. They're so annoying that they've actually destroyed people's driveways. They've actually destroyed people's sidewalks to the point that you got to get a new driveway or a new sidewalk. If you're one of those people who have to have like perfect driveways and perfect sidewalks. I have a gravel driveway, so I don't mind one way or another. But they can get bad. So if you see gophers in your yard, a little mound of dirt in the middle of your yard, you want to get a gopher black trap. It's a black trap. It's like an upside down mouse trap with sides on it. It is so amazing. You dig down in the gopher home, and then you put the trap down in there with some peanut butter on it, and then you drive a piece of rebar in the ground to hold the trap still. That way the gopher, when it gets hit, no dogs run up and grab the trap and drag it off. But the gopher black trap is a trap that gets the gophers, kills them so that they don't mess up your yard anymore. But something you need to be aware of if you live in a region that doesn't have gophers. We have weird little critters that make mounds of dirt in your yard that if you let them get too crazy, you know, years and years and years of gophers, they might actually mess up your driveway or your sidewalk. All right, let's talk about the next item that you need to be aware of when you're moving to Oklahoma. Item number 6, guys. Item number 6. If you were in negotiations on the house and the house ended up needing a new roof and it was covered by the seller's insurance company, you as a buyer, you really want to weigh the pros and cons of paying that seller's an extra $1,000 or $2,000 to make sure that you get a class 4 roof. If the seller's already covering the base cost of the roof replacement, the most expensive part, and all you got to spend is an extra $1,000 or an extra $2,000 to upgrade the shingles to class 4 shingles, guys, you absolutely want to do that. You got to weigh the pros and cons on it. Don't take my word for it, but you absolutely want to do it, because listen to this. If you upgrade to a class 4 roof and it saves you $500 a year, you're gonna get that $1,000 to $2,000 back in 2 to 4 years. And then you're still gonna be saving $5 a year for maybe 8 years, maybe 10 years. So 6 years or 8 years, for 6 years or 8 years more, that comes out to $3,000 or $4,000 in insurance savings just because you upgraded the shingles to a better, more rubberized shingle. Really pay attention. If you're doing your TRR, if the seller's gonna replace the roof, their insurance company is covering the cost of the roof, then you as a buyer want to talk to that roofer and weigh the pros and cons, and talk to your insurance company, weigh the pros and cons of upgrading your roof from a regular roof to a class 3 or a class 4 roof. You absolutely want to do that, especially if the seller is replacing the roof, because of the results that were found during the home inspection. Class 4 roof, call for details. We can discuss it in more detail. Contact information down in the description below. That's a huge tip when buying a home in Oklahoma. Item number 5 when buying a home in Oklahoma is, if you're buying a home and it's on one of the local electric co-ops, guys, you are 50% likely to have the best and the least expensive internet available in Oklahoma. If you're buying a home in Eastern Oklahoma County Electric Co-op, or if you're buying a home in Central Valley Electric Co-op, Central Valley, Canadian Valley Electric Co-op, guys, 9 times out of 10, they already have the fiber internet ran in all of those service areas. And guys, you're gonna be spending only $85 a month at the time of this video. Only $85 a month on gig internet, a gig up and a gig down, $85 a month. And you could get like 500 up, 500 down most times. Last time I checked, you'll have to verify. Whenever you're watching this video, you'll have to verify. But you could get half of that for only $50 a month. For only $50 a month, if 85 is a little too much right now. With the cost of eggs being $10 a dozen at the time of this video, I understand that $50 internet might be just as good as $85 internet. But if you're buying a home and it's in one of the electric co-ops, you're not having to spend crazy expensive $150 a month to get gigablast internet or a gig up and a gig down. You could be getting it as inexpensive as $85 a month. Okay, all right, if you're not a chicken person, you might think this is weird, but with the price of eggs that they are today, you might actually be thinking about becoming a chicken person. Well, when you move to Oklahoma, you're gonna see that there's some neighborhoods where your neighbors have chickens. Now, whether or not and where you fall on the spectrum of the desirability of having chickens, you may think that's awesome. Like Yukon has no chicken limit. If the neighborhood has a chicken limit, that's one thing, but the city of Yukon itself has no chicken limit. And then some cities, they have codes against chicken, against poultry, but the thing is, they don't really enforce it. So if you're looking to move to Oklahoma, you wanna do that sort of rural homestead, you wanna have some chickens, you wanna be able to have fresh eggs in the morning, then you definitely wanna pay attention to where you're moving, because even in some of our rural neighborhoods, you are not allowed to have more than 10 chickens per acre. And if you want 20 chickens, that's something you need to be aware of, because if the deed restriction says you can only have 10, but you want 20, if the house has to outweigh your desire to have chickens. And usually, I don't think anyone's ever not bought because of the chicken limit. Once someone did not buy because of the chicken limit, but we were able to move up the acreage to 5 acres. We went from 1 acre to 5 acres. And of course, we were able to easily find them a home that fit their chicken needs. So if you want to have chickens, pay attention to the city zoning, pay attention to the deed restrictions, and of course, reach out to my team and I. Contact information down below. We'll show you how to look up all that information with chickens are at the top of your list when moving to Oklahoma. Item number 3, school district lines are weird. They are weird. They will literally just cut out one certain neighborhood in Oklahoma and the rest of the county is in another school district. Like it is so weird how the school district lines work in Oklahoma. So you want to verify, call the local school when you're doing your inspections, make sure that that is the school district that you want your kid to be in. When you're here, go visit, what is it called? Walkthroughs. Go visit appointments with the principals in the schools. If you have a special needs child, if you have a child who wants to be, a wrestling star or a track star, go visit appointments, what are one-on-one appointments with that principal, with that coach, with that, if you want your kid to be a rock star French student, like learn the language of French, schedule appointments with those teachers, with those principals to do one-on-one to make sure that you're getting what you want out of that school district. Our school district lines are weird. And also guys, I've literally seen the school district lines change. I've seen them change in the state of Oklahoma. So just full disclosure, if you do all the investigations, the inspection reviews that you can on the school district, you may still have to get a special request form to change school districts if the school district changes the lines. I don't know how that happens. I don't know why it happens, but I've literally seen it happen over the last 18 years in real estate. You gotta pay attention to the school district if it's important to you, if you have school-age children. And another reason school districts are important to you, if you don't have school-age children, if your kids are grown up and out of the house, or you haven't had kids yet, is for resale. Resale. School districts are super important, guys, when it comes to resale. Item number 2, when you're buying a home in Oklahoma, remember guys, these are just things that I've run across with customers and even myself and my family when buying a home, and that's why I'm bringing them to you. Over the last 18 years, me personally managing over 640 closings and being a part of over 1,600 closings, I want to give you some good information, but I don't want the video to last like an hour. I want to give you the concrete, good information up front in a quick manner so that you know what to look out for when you're buying a home in Oklahoma. Number 2, guys, knock on the neighbors' doors. Knock on the neighbors to the left and the right. Knock on the neighbors in the back, because they're gonna be your neighbors. And if you've got bad neighbors, you're not gonna be happy with your home buying decision. You're not. If you're buying a new construction neighborhood, it's a lot harder to do that. Or if you're buying like 180 acre parcels of land, you may still want to knock on the neighbors. You may still want to knock on the neighbors. There's been documentaries over the Hatfields and the McCoys, over people with large tracts of lands still disliking each other so much. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a historian. Google it. Look at the History Channel. Knock on the neighbor's door. Say hello. Introduce yourself. Ask them how they like the neighborhood. Ask them what they might know about the house that's being sold. They might know something about the house being sold that the inspector may not find. Talk to the neighbors. Make sure they're people you want to live by. And I'm serious about this, guys. Knock on the neighbors behind the house. Knock on the neighbors to the left and right. Make sure they're neighbors that you want to have as your neighbor. I'm serious. And then also, drive the house in the morning before everybody goes to work. Drive the house at lunch. Drive the house at lunch. Drive the neighborhood at lunch. If it's out in the rural area, drive it in the mornings, drive it at lunch, and drive it in the evenings, guys. You want to get a feel for that house during all times of the day. During all times of the day. Don't just show up, fall in love with it, and then only spend the inspection period at the house. Knock on the neighbors during the inspection, and then drive the house some other time during the week, in the morning, at lunch, and in the afternoon. Really get a feel for that house. Really get a feel for that property. Get a feel for the town too. Go drive to the local Walmart. Go drive to the local city hall. Get a feel for the town at all times of the day so that you know what you're buying. It's a huge investment, and you want to make sure, and my team and I want to make sure that you are making the right decision. 1 second. Oh, it's that time of the year, man. The weeds are coming out, man. It just rained. It's that time of the year. It's spring, and the weeds are coming out. Sure, we have allergies in Oklahoma. Oh my gosh. And I took Claritin before I came out to shoot. And lastly, guys, last thing. Then I'll let you go. You can watch the outtakes at the end of the video. Anyone else that is buying a home with you, anyone else that's thinking about moving to Oklahoma with you, that's family members, that's spouses, that's kids, maybe it's friends. Maybe you're both taking a job at Tinker Air Force Base, you're both taking a job at one of our wonderful colleges like OSU, East Central University. Maybe you're taking a job at one of the universities or one of the major hospitals throughout the state of Oklahoma. Share this video with them. Share this video with them so they can get all this information too that I just spoke about. And if you think they'll get a kick out of the bald guy who talks about moving to Oklahoma and all these things you got to look out for. But they're the truth. They're the truth, and I want to be truthful with you. My team and I are here to help you with all your real estate needs. Our contact information is down below. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. Even if you're a year out or 2 years out, let's do that video call. Let's start planning. The more information you have up front, the easier it is to make the decision when you find the right house. All right, guys, thanks so much. Share the video, give it a thumbs up, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Blah, blue, blah, blah, blue, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blue, blah, blah, blue. Blah, blue, blah, blah, blah. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. The sun is bright.